Okay, so welcome to In the Kitchen with Jelly. That's jelly007.com, also known as John Sanders. And now I want to say that I think I have found the perfect combination for ribs that are cooked in a pressure cooker. I'm using a Ninja FOODI. And honestly, it's the only one that'll do what I'm doing. Nothing against the Instant Pot. You just have to, and you can still do it with the Instant Pot. You just have to take it to the oven. And this eliminates that step, or at least to the oven. So if you've watched my videos before, you know I've already done I've done several videos on ribs. Everything from the green egg to Instant Pot to Ninja. But after trying several ways, and I cook them different, totally different than I do on a grill or a green egg or whatever. But what I have found is that what works best is St. Louis style ribs. And I got these at Publix. It is 3.17 pounds. And then I have a technique that I use that I think, it's not a big deal. It's just the way I go about it. And a little different than I did on my others in the Ninja. I use the same sauces. If you've seen me use this before, butt rub, I love it. I really do. It's a great seasoning. Again, nobody's paying me. I say that every time. And they're not on any of this. This is my favorite go-to barbecue sauce. Now, one thing and I guess I'm always, trying and testing and doing different things. And tonight I did find Rendezvous, I found it this week at the store, Rendezvous, and I drove all the way to Memphis one time just to eat at this restaurant. So I want to try their barbecue sauce on ribs, although it's a little different than what they do on ribs. Long story short, I'm going to put that on one or two, but this is going to go on most of them. And all I'm going to do is this one rack right here. I'm going to get those cleaned up and cut up and get ready, and we're going to get them in here. I'm going to bring y'all back, and I'm going to show you what I think, and I think you will too. I think you'll find this makes the best rib recipe for cooking them in a pressure cooker. So y'all hang on and I will be right back. Okay, so here they are. I've got them cut up. I've got them what I call lightly coated with a butt rub. And the reason I say lightly is because that's a lot less than I do on a Boston butt with that same rub. But I did get in the package, like always, they had it folded under. I don't know if you can see that back rib, but there's not a lot left to it. But I'll get 2 good racks, and that's good enough. All right, now, I've also got a cup of water and a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Now, the thing that I'm doing different than I've ever done, and I think and this is only on a pressure cooker, or because it's a pressure cooker, is one, it's St. Louis style. I think they work better than baby backs, although I like baby backs most of the time. I've found these to turn out better. I do the manual or the recipe book they send with it, they call for 19 minutes and a quick release. Well, I tried several things, and I think what I came up with was 20 minutes of high pressure and then a 15-minute natural release and then a quick release. I think it has something to do with that connective tissue breaking down. When you dump all that pressure off right quick, I think you lose what you've accomplished a little bit. So, long story short, we're going to do just what I said, and this is a little less than I normally cook. But I'd like to have all 3 to be that size, but that shouldn't have any effect on it. What I'm getting at is the main thing is 20 and 15, and that seems to be. And I've tried 15-15. I've tried a couple other, but the 20-15 seems to give what I think most people will want from a pressure cooker. So, all that being said, I'm going to lock in that to seal. I'm going to press pressure on high for 20 minutes. I'm going to hit start. We're off and going. And as soon as that's done, I'll bring you back. But all we're going to do is let it go from counting down once it gets to pressure to counting up to 15 minutes, and then we'll see what we got. But I'll be back then. Okay, so as you can see, the 20 minutes has passed, and now we're counting up instead of down. So we're going to 15 minutes right here, and then we will release the pressure. So there you go. Be back in a minute. Okay, we're coming up on the 15 minutes, and a couple of things I forgot to say was that I did remove that silver skin from the back of that St. Louis style rib. It's a big deal. You want to do that. I mean, there's plenty of places to find on YouTube. I've even got one on how to do it, but you just grab it with a paper towel and you peel that silver skin off the back side of the rib. And this right here is the rack I'm using. Now, Ninja's not paying me. I bought this. I mean, I'm just mentioning, but this is the rack I'm using. It fits their air crisping basket and all that, and you could also use it without the air crisp basket, I guess, but I'm just saying there's what I'm using. That's what you're seeing in there. But right now, we're about to release this pressure at 15 minutes and 30 seconds, and we're going to let that bleed down, and then we're going to open it up and see what they look like. Okay, so there went the pin. So right at 1 minute of bleed down time. So I mean, it's not that big a deal. You could probably leave it till it drop. But let's see what they look like. And they look like pressure cooked ribs, and that's a good thing. And especially if you see those bones exposed. When the bones pull back, that usually in any method of cooking ribs is a good thing. So now I'm going to pull that basket out, and I'm going to drain that water or get the liquid out of the bottom of the pot, and then we're going to put all that back in there and do air crisp for about 10, 15 minutes. We're going to see how that does after about 10 minutes, but got to get that liquid out. That's something else I didn't do before, and I think it means a bunch. And you remove some of the humidity, obvious. But anyhow, that's what I'm about to do. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the ribs in the air crisp basket. I've got the Fox Brothers on the outside too, and the Rendezvous in the middle. And here's how they did last time also. When you brush the barbecue sauce on, the ribs will come out. I'm telling you, this is an excellent way to cook ribs and in a pressure cooker. Now, I will say, I poured this off because you want to take all liquids out. I found that out not long ago. It's obvious, but no one mentioned it in any recipes, but I found it in the manual and I did it, and it does help. So when you pull the liner out, and when you pour that liquid off, you want to make sure you're pouring it into a Pyrex dish because it's really hot. And then get you something like this and brush both sides. So all that being said, what we're going to do right now is put the ribs, which I'll show you right here. You can see them. They are beautiful. Set them right there. We're going to close the lid. We're going to hit air crisp, and we're going to go 400 degrees. And I don't even remember what it says to do, but that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to go 10 minutes for right now. I'm going to do a 10-minute air crisping, just to see how they look after 10. And you can check them at any time. You see right there it says you can sneak a peek, and you can. So I'm going to let them run for a little bit, and I'm going to look at them, but then we can add all we want. But you'll see what I mean in a minute. It's going to look excellent. But I'll be right back. Okay, so we're coming up on the 10 minutes of air crisp. And I did peek once about 2 minutes ago, and they look good. We're going to let it go through the cool down feature. And I might be pushing a little bit. It might have been okay a while ago, or maybe needed flipping. But I've found you don't have to flip them all the time. But look at that. I mean, they look great. And I'm going to try and get that one out right there, which is, and see what I mean? They don't need flipping. You don't have to flip these. I mean, I'm probably making a mess. I am. But the air crisp feature, I did not flip them. I mean, you'd think I did, but I didn't. So there is the Rendezvous. I'm going to get this one out next. And if I can get that to cooperate without tearing it up, let's see how it looks on the bottom side. Same way. I mean, it does circulate very well. So like my best one, I'd say, I have my Fox Brothers on. And then my worst one, I have my Fox Brothers on. And then the one in the middle, I've got the Rendezvous on. And I'm going to put more. So there they look. That's what they look like on the plate. And I'm going to brush those up just a little bit and see what they look like in just a second. But let me get that done and I'll bring y'all right back. But as you can see, I don't know how you beat that. That's a excellently cooked rib. And it's done in your foodie. But anyhow, be right back. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes since the ribs were completed, and I brushed them with a little more sauce because that's the way I like them. And they look fantastic like they always do, and I really do think this is the method to use. And if you can see those bones that are hanging out, now this is my, which it doesn't matter, I'm sure, but this is my Fox Brothers, and I mean, it is absolutely the perfect, if you ask me, rib. Now, I'm sure I could pull that bone out, as you can see, and then this one, I'm going to do this on this plate. This one is my Rendezvous. If I can find that joint, there it is. And it's the same way. So, I mean, when you look at the times and everything from the time of cooking, the 20 minutes and the 15 minutes of natural release, and especially if, like me, if you try it several different ways, you'll see what I mean. They're absolutely, they're excellent. And it's just really good pork ribs. And I've definitely got too much in my mouth. My point is, I think you'll enjoy these if you try them. I've actually got food I cooked earlier today that I made a little bit. Corn, asparagus, and potatoes. I got a feeling I won't even touch because I'm going to eat most of these ribs. And nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. I think it really is the best way, the best type rib, the best way to cook a rib in a pressure cooker. So, all that being said, I'm fixing to eat these ribs. I'm going to put some salt on them. That'll be it. And they're thumbs up. So anyhow, thank you for watching my video. Y'all come back to see me. Jelly007.com. Like, share, subscribe. Come back. John Sanders. You can even search that nowadays. I've found that a couple of times. That works now. So y'all have a good night. Come back to see me. Bye-bye.